Mr. Arnott.
Thank you, Madam President. This debate should be absolutely none of my beeswax because of Brexit, but sadly it is, because likely one way or the other the UK will end up contributing to a budget for the European Parliament alone of over €2 billion. It's great to see paragraph 25 calling for the end of the travelling circus between Brussels and Strasbourg, but like the film Groundhog Day, this Parliament votes to end the travelling circus in different reports from different committees, month in, month out, year in, year out. And time again, it doesn't get the change enacted because this place doesn't actually have the power to decide where it sits. That's the difference between this place and, say, the House of Representatives that was mentioned earlier in this debate. At least this report does question the latest EU expansionism. It questions suggestions for bigger offices in Indonesia, in Ethiopia and New York, which last time I consulted a map weren't in Europe. But what I can't support in this report is millions more being spent on propaganda by setting up Europe experience centres and mobile installations across Europe and hiring an army of 50 new press officers and media managers. I can't support even more money being spent refurbishing MEPs' offices, which last time I checked were perfectly serviceable. And then we come to Brexit, and this report contemplates various options. Why wouldn't it? When even as I'm speaking here, politicians in Westminster are still unable to decide whether or not they're going to implement the referendum result. British MEPs were elected on a Brexit mandate in 2014. The general election in 2015 mandated a referendum. The 2016 referendum mandated leave. Then 85% of votes at the general election in 2017 went to parties pledging leave. I'm going to blame the European Union for a lot of things, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to blame the European Union for politicians in Westminster ignoring their mandates and being unable to decide what to do. That much is certainly their fault, not yours.
What a relief, Mr. Arnott. Can I ask you if you'll accept a question from Mr. RÜBIG? Herr RÜBIG.
Thank you very much. The question pertaining to the seat of the European Parliament is a perfectly legitimate question, of course. We know that the Lisbon Treaty and the treaties of Rome have always required unanimity on the issue of the seat. And our seat happens to be Strasbourg. So I'm not sure I understand your criticism regarding the Strasbourg seat, particularly at this moment in time. I think it actually makes sense. However, on the other subject, that of Brexit, we don't know what's going to happen next. Are we a few hours away from a hard Brexit, from chaos? So far, Westminster, the House of Commons, has not taken a decision of any sort, and we look forward, of course, to hearing what's going to happen next.
Thank you, Madam President. It's difficult to respond to a question that doesn't come with a question mark. Certainly, I agree that there is chaos in Westminster at the moment. We expect our politicians in Westminster to actually take some decisions and to take a lead on the Brexit that people voted for. As far as the travelling circus between Brussels and Strasbourg is concerned, I suppose my point is simply to say that the system is broken when a parliament does not even have the basic democratic power to decide where it meets.